Finally, it's December. The one time of the year where it's not about ourselves. Where we can spread joy and cheer, love and affection. Where we can actually go outside. Huh. Okay. Should have predicted that. It is 2020. Shit. If I'm not going out and getting trampled by middle-aged women on Black Friday, then what the hell am I gonna do? Well, whatever it is, it can't be worse than just being cooped up here doing nothing for the past 6.
Was the nicest little hearth you could ever hope for.
Oh, fuck. Oh, Charles Dickens, The Cricket on the Hearth. Oh boy, where the hell do I begin with this movie? Now, for 1 second, let me play devil's advocate here and say that when I was younger, I loved this movie to death. I'd watch it all the time in the back of my mom and dad's minivan with my brother, who also loved this movie, and my sister, who didn't love it nearly as much at the time. And trust me when I say that my sister was right about this movie from the beginning, and she was right about it now. Whenever I decided to watch this movie before writing the script, I gathered my brother and my sister, since this was a movie that we watched a bunch as kids, to rewatch it with me for this review. And, oh my god. I suppose I should give a little info on this movie before we jump into this shit show. The film of the evening was a movie that was animated and directed in 1967 by not one but two directors, Jules Baths and Arthur Rankin Jr., who have worked together on a number of other projects, including the original Thundercats? You're fucking with me, right? Nope, I am not fucking with you. How in the hell did this go so terribly wrong, with such talent at the helm? Honestly, looking at their other projects, I cannot tell you a single other fucking thing that they did. It's all shitty sequels to classic Christmas movies and other things, including The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings animated movie. Look, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here, and maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on the film. It is a children's movie after all. But it is a Charles Dickens movie, and those are known for being incredibly tragic. I mean, just look at A Christmas Carol, one of his most famous pieces of work. We'll just have to see how it was adapted onto the big screen. I'm going to stop wasting time now. I've bought enough as is. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, The Cricket on the Hearth. So, our movie begins, almost instantly by the by, with a cricket, shocker, committing a federal offense, breaking into a house, possibly to commit an even worse crime, before he notices us, a witness, and decides to recall a final tale to us before he puts us in a morgue of his own design. He takes us back to a long time ago, springtime, which is odd because this is a Christmas movie, but you know what, okay, where our old pal Cricket is out on the town looking to extort some money from a family get adopted into a family, I guess, when he just so happens to run into a merry little toy shop, where a man nearly steps on our Cricket friend, damn it, and for some reason decides to talk to him?
Crockett's the name. Cricket Crockett.
I'm Caleb Plummer.
So, the nice man, Caleb Plummer, voiced by Danny Thomas, the narrator at the beginning of this movie, actually, just straight up allows this random, magical, talking cricket to live in his home before he just straight up leaves to go deliver some toys to somewhere, I guess. And here, we literally just reused the shot from the beginning of the film, if you could even call it that. I'd say the actual beginning of the film, because when Danny Thomas actually introduces us to the tale, I don't know, man.
You've got yourself a cricket on the hearth.
Moving on, our little cricket overhears a conversation between two other characters in the same room. The man's daughter, Big Badonka Bertha, and her husband, the Crimson Chin Edward, who will be going away to the Royal Navy for about 2 years, probably to fight some pirates with that bulletproof chin he has. Anyway, it's quite clear that Bertha isn't happy with Edward going away, but he has a little song for us, singing to Bertha, telling her to wait for his return. Someday he shall return to her. Now, let me just take a look at the runtime of this movie. Oh, sweet Jesus Christ.
Don't give your all away.
So So we cut to a while later as time passes and it's almost Christmas, as the three are working hard on toys for all the boys and girls of wherever the hell we are. Oh, and don't get me started on the fact that the cricket is literally just here putting tacks on wagons and giving paint for Bertha to paint dolls' lips. Oh, and speaking of, something catches my attention in this scene.
It's been 1.5 years since Edward went away, and...
1.5 years, huh? Yeah, what's the life expectancy of crickets? I don't think so, pal. So, let's move almost instantly into another song about Bertha sharing her opinion on crying in public. Oh, and by the by, no jokes here. Crying is a human emotion. Don't be afraid to reach out to people in trying times, especially here in 2020. I'm being serious, guys. Tears are human. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Anyway, suddenly we are interrupted by this, thing who has come here to inform us, the sir and the madam, that Edward has been lost at sea doing whatever the hell he was doing.
He's fighting pirates with his crimson chain.
Shut up! Oh, and there's no way that I'm not editing this scene.
Colonel, your bag.
The movie's tone changes drastically as we go from a happy-go-lucky family Christmas tale to a distressing one in an instant, as the Charles Dickensonism kicks in, and the shock of the news turns poor Bertha blind almost instantly. Hey, Kunikita. Do it.
Oh!
Caleb's shop proceeds to go under as Plumber decides to borrow more and more money to pay doctors to try to fix his daughter's eyesight. Unfortunately, nothing can be done, and they're forced to move, all of it for nothing. He searches and searches for a job, but can't seem to catch a break, before finally Caleb and Bertha can't go any further, and are reduced to the final solution. Wait, I don't think I can say that.
The poorhouse? Oh, no. You can't give up.
Luckily, Cricket talks some sense into the desperate man, as their eyes land upon a toy factory. Seeing no other option, they kind of just fall into the fucking door. Inside the factory, Bertha sits her fat ass down as we meet Caleb's new boss, whose bird was honestly more memorable than he was, but I'll be honest, for all the wrong reasons. Anyway, Caleb gets the job, but he's not getting paid for it, and he's literally the only worker at the factory, but he gets to live on the premises and get whatever food is left. So it's not great, but it's better than the poorhouse from his perspective. And after that, we jump into another song, but I'll be honest with you folks, I gotta tap out for a second and say that the music, while albeit used way too often, is actually really good and can be considered the best part of this movie. Sometimes it's extremely emotional as well. The song playing right now, Through My Eyes, is one of my favorite songs in the film, where Caleb promises to let his daughter see the world through his eyes, and he's going to make it as beautiful as he can possibly be. Yeah, no, that's pretty good actually, not gonna lie.
Teach you how to feel. My love, help you to reveal.
Anywho, now that I've given this film its mandatory amount of praise, Crockett and Caleb do something that literally has no effect on the story, and then we cut to Caleb coming back to the house with some gifts. How he could afford them? That's a great fucking question. Anyway, he runs into this steely-eyed old bastard who looks suspiciously like Edward, but it can't be! Edward is dead! So for now, we're just gonna call him the Negachin. The old man explains to Caleb that he's too old to get a job and his bones ache from sleeping outside because of his lack of money. So Caleb, being the kind man that he is, lets the old man come and stay at his home so that he can perv on his daughter. But that's okay, because the way that he says her name gives Bertha an orgasm. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I was
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
Fine. Anyway, after that interruption, a lot of shit happens that has literally no effect on the plot. Allow me to explain. The They hug, a song happens, some religious shit. The old man just kind of disappears for a bit. Mr. Tackle says he wants to marry Bertha. Bertha accepts for some reason. Another song. Edward is here without his chin. Bertha is doing her best little sister cosplay. And Kayla becomes Josuke Higashikata. Anyway, with Bertha bouncing with joy at the news of her engagement, she tells the old man, who then gets noticeably upset and then just kind of dips. Yeah, I wonder fucking why. But, despite the old man being weird, Crockett hatches a plan to ruin the marriage. As the following hour, Mr. Tackle meets with Bertha, and Cricket and some of his pals turn the event sour with pranks of microscopic proportions. It does literally nothing but make Tackle mad, who then orders his crow, Elia Call, to have the cricket eliminated. And after another song to the visual of a literal cat show, he enlists some help of some of his friends. And we all know how that goes.
You eat babies.
Oh, after using the dead ringer, Crockett escapes his captives only hours before Christmas arrives, and after wielding the powers of Captain Herman's gift, the Moby Dick, among other things, he arrives back in London and makes it back to the toy shop right at the strike of midnight, and all of a sudden, the toys around him start to come to life? What? No, there was nothing about toys coming to life on Christmas. So the toys are apparently all-knowing or some shit like that, and they reveal to Crockett that audible gasp! The old man is Edward. Who could have ever guessed that? Yeah, Edward is, the fucking old man. Yeah, he gives some excuse about needing to wear an outfit to hide himself from a blind woman because he felt bad for making her go blind after he was quote-unquote lost at sea. He survived after making some kind of raft and sailing to shore or some shit like that. Is the movie over yet? No, sadly, but thank God it's just about over because I'm not even kidding. The final 6 minutes of the film is Edward touching Bertha's hands and them getting married. That's it. What? Yeah. It just ends. And then the fuck ugly cricket gives us a little goodbye next to the fireplace before presumably burying the cameraman alive. And then it just ends. Roll credits. Goodbye. I cannot explain to you how baffled I was by the end of this movie. It just ends like that. I know it's only 50 minutes, but it's not like there was a flashy scene where all the budget went to. They all looked like shit collectively. I really cannot explain it. But I guess the only thing I can explain now is my final tally and verdict on the movie, and it's bad. It's really bad. But it has some enjoyment to be found in it. If your children are under the age of 7 years old, throw this on. I guarantee you at least one of them will watch it and enjoy it. And if you're over that age, you'll get a laugh out of it. Trust me, so you're going to see something that's so mind-bogglingly what the fuck, and you're going to laugh at it, truly. But at the end of the day, it's still a bad film. And while I enjoyed watching it from an ironic perspective, unironically, it was a hassle. But would you look at the time? I don't have a watch. It's time for me to get out of here, folks. This is by far the hardest challenge I've put on this YouTube channel, but ultimately I think it turned out pretty alright. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy it just as much as I did making it. I hope you guys enjoyed the ride that you took with me watching this cult classic in heavy quotations, animated film from '67. Yes, ultimately Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol was better in literally every single way, but I'm certain the story, like the actual book that he wrote of this, is pretty good, and maybe is a close second. But with that being said, it is time for me to take my leave. I hope I will see you all at the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see y'all when I see y'all, and make sure you have a very Merry December. Stay safe out there, guys.